Almost welcoming me back. We got up next here, Mr. Jason Scales to the stage, everybody. Y'all give him a warm welcome.
So fall is one of my favorite times of the year. Any fall lovers in here? From as young as I can remember, hot chocolate, tons of marshmallows on top of the hot chocolate. Football's in the air, although I never played football a day in my life. I was a basketball player. But fall was not a favorite time of my year, of my life, for a certain season of my year, of my life. It was October 2010. I lost my sister to a head-on collision with a school bus. September 2009, my sister died. October 2010, that's correct. My brother died. And here it is, October 2011, and one of used to be my favorite times of the year. I'm driving down the road, and I'm on my way to a preaching engagement. My son was young then. He was about maybe 4 years old at the time. And I went by myself. I'm invited to this church in Shelbyville, Tennessee. If you're from Shelbyville in here, I said it correctly, it's Shelbyville, Tennessee. I pull up to this building, which is a church, and it was one of the most awful looking buildings I've ever seen in my entire life. Not only was it awful on the outside, it was awful on the inside. I walked in the building, there was about 30 people in there if I'm stretching it. 10 of those were kids. One kid never stopped running the entire service. He messed up, I counted about 20 diapers in the entire service. I looked up to God. I already wasn't feeling this place. I already wasn't feeling that season of my life. And I said, I'm going to give these people 15 minutes. And I'm out of here. The sound system was nothing like what's in this room. This mic's great. This band is great. They went through, can we get up for the band? They went through so many mics because the batteries kept running out. I'm like, what in the world is going on? They didn't have a band. So in the church world, when you don't have a band, you play a track and people sing over the track. They didn't have a track. They had the actual song and was singing over the song. And I was like, what in the world? They put me up to preach. I said, here goes 15 minutes. But I got up to preach, and I looked on the second row, and there was this young lady. And the weight of the world was on her. And something stood up inside of me. I said, I was going to give these people 15 minutes, but something in me said, if you don't preach to anybody else, I think you came for her. I preached my heart out. I only gave her 15 minutes, but it's 15 minutes an hour. And I prayed for her. And I left, went home, didn't think anything about it. Our church is old, so there's no vestibule. You walk in the front door, you're in the sanctuary. It's just old building. So I stand out front in the parking lot when people come. I shake their hand. I want to speak to as many people as I can. 2 weeks after this engagement, this lady walks up. And she's got a bunch of kids with her, and she has a guy with her. And I think I recognize the face. She gets closer to me, and she has the biggest smile. And I said, I remember you. You were at that church. I preached that. She said, I've been looking for weeks trying to find you. She said, I just want to say thank you. She said, that night I was about to give up. She said, I'd already written my parents a letter, and I told them to take my kids. My husband, who's sitting right here, we were on the outs. She said, you preached that night. You preached that night, and hope just rose up inside of me. And I felt like I could make it. We're trying to make things work in our marriage. I feel like I could be a good mother to those kids. And in that moment, I thank God that I chose to go big. Because even when you don't feel like going big, I think you should go big. And because I went big in that moment, somebody has hope. And she didn't realize what she did inside of me. I was about ready to give up and just lose just my drive and my zeal. But something in me stood up because she was willing to be transparent with her emotions. Something pulled inside of me. I think you should go big, even when you don't feel like it. Speaking of fall, I love driving to Chattanooga. I went to school in Chattanooga. I went to school there, and I love driving over Mount Eagle Mountain. I had a car when I first went. It wasn't worth speaking of, but when I finally got a good car, it was a 1991 Honda Accord. I said, I'm going to go as fast as I can over Mount Eagle Mountain. I went 110 miles an hour, and my check engine light came on. I never did it again. Fast forward to a few years later, I was invited to speak at this church. It was the church that I went to when I was in school. And I drove my family over the mountain. We didn't go 110 miles an hour. We got to the church. I was looking forward to going to this church. We actually went up on a Saturday. I love staying downtown, but we stayed by the Hamilton Place Mall area. And we stayed Saturday night, and that Sunday before we went to the church, I said, I need to get my nerves together. I get nervous before I speak anytime. So I said, let me just drive down Gun Barrel Road. And I drove down Gun Barrel Road. And I just had this feeling on the inside of me. It's the weirdest thing. In my word, in the church world, I call it the Holy Spirit speaking to me. He said, pull over and just get cash. If you know me, I never carry cash. I always have my debit card. And I pulled over and I got $40 out. I said, well, I got $40, I'll go to church. When I got to church, the music was nothing like the church in Shelbyville. Little kids were behaved. It was just a great place to be. I was glad to be speaking in there. I saw people that I knew, and there was this one lady who, she was like our god sister to our family. She has an autistic son. She said, can I speak to you? So she pulled me to the side, and she said, hey, I need some help. And I said, what is it? She said, can I borrow $40? In that moment, I said, you won't believe this. I'm riding down Gun Barrel Road, and something says, pull over and get $40. I pulled over and get $40, and here you are asking for it. Here, take $40. I didn't think anything about it. We preached, we went home. That Friday of that week, I got a phone call from her. She called me, and she said, I want to say thank you. I said, you don't owe me any money back. She said, that ain't why I'm calling. I'm calling. She said, that $40 that you gave me, she said, child support didn't come in. And she said, I didn't get paid that Friday. She said, I was able to put gas in my car and feed me and my son that entire week off $40. $40 was little to me, but it was big to her. You don't realize in moments you get the opportunity to go big even when it seems like it's small. You take for granted that somebody sends you a text that says you look nice today. Hello. They give you a hug. How are you doing? But one hug, one hello, one how are you doing today, one hey, I've been talking to you. It means a whole lot to somebody who never gets it. Can I challenge you to go big even when it seems small? Yeah. We did that in our church in a season. We had something called the Big Deal. Every year, for a couple of years, we raised $5,000 to a church that was small. I told them, hey guys, we're going to raise $5,000 and we're going to give it away. They look just like you did. It's no building. We can fix this, we can fix that. Say, well, listen, we're going to give it away to nonprofits. We're going to give away, we're going to bless various people. And for a couple of years, $5,000 is what we raised. And then this one year, I got the grand idea. I said, you know what? This year, we're going to raise $10,000. And when I was rehearsing this story, I was rehearsing it to my wife, Barbara, sitting right there. And I said, I was telling the story like it was mine. And I said, we're going to pay off layways at Walmart. She said, Jason, you do know that was my idea. So we took Barbara's idea that year, and we raised $10,000. We're going to raise $10,000. We're going to pay off layways at Walmart. We're going to take $5,000 and just pay off people's layways. They're going to walk up to the counter, and somebody's going to say, somebody's already paid off your layaway. We gave away $100 gift cards. Can you imagine walking to Walmart and getting money? We were doing that. But here's what happened. We took 3 weeks normally before the Christmas season to raise the money. Well, the third week, we had $6,400. I was prepared to walk out to the church and tell them, hey guys, we tried it. At least we went bigger than last year, right? We normally raise $5,000, but we raised $6,400. They normally bring the mail to me on Sundays. Our finance committee collects the mail. It was Christmas season. And they brought some Christmas cards into me. So I said, you know what? I'm just sitting here. I might as well read the Christmas cards. So I tell people we didn't raise it $10,000. So I read a couple cards. Thank you for being a great preacher. Thank you for visiting my mother in the nursing home. All those good things like that. But I opened up this one card and something plopped out. It fell on my desk. And I did what you're supposed to do. I read the card first before you get to look at the gift, right? So I gave the card a complimentary glance. Then I looked down on my desk and I picked up this big check. This big check was not from a person that went to our church. It was from a person who I was close to their father. Their father passed away, and we had a great mentor-mentee relationship. And you would not believe how much this check was for. We'd raised $6,400. I wish I could make this up. There was a check on my desk for $3,600. Math works quick in my head. $6,400, $3,600. That's $10,000. I went to the congregation. I walked out. I was prepared to tell everybody we didn't raise. I said, guys, you won't believe this. We didn't raise $10,000. We raised $6,400, but you won't believe this. I just got a check for $3,600. Now we got $10,000. I think you should go big with your dreams. Because when you go big with your dreams, there's something bigger than you working on the inside of you that pulls on resources that you have no idea that exist. I'm through, but can I challenge you to go big even when you don't feel like it? Go big even when you think it's small. And go big with your